the sunken nose, no feeling, and the hands nodding up. Well, we're turning to Luke chapter 5 this morning. Luke 5:12. And Jesus is going to have an encounter with a man with leprosy. But we're going to see that the same things that Jesus dealt with leprosy that we should deal with today with the coronavirus. And the things in the Bible aren't just for the past. They're not just ancient books that have no bearing on our life, but they do have bearing on our life. Luke chapter 5 and verse 12 says, while Jesus was in one of the towns, a man came along who was covered with leprosy. When he saw Jesus, he fell with his face to the ground and begged him, Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean. Now, leprosy was rare. Being healed from leprosy is rare. Only 2 times in the Bible do you see someone healed from leprosy. And that was Naaman, the Gentile, and that was Miriam after being leprous for a week outside the camp. After she accused, I won't go into that story, but 2 times, only 2 times in the Bible do we see someone healed of leprosy in the Old Testament up to this point. And so this man, he comes to Jesus because he believes in the power of Jesus. Now, here's what Ryrie means. I'm going to give you a word, one of them fancy theological words called omnipotence. Omnipotence means all-powerful. And Ryrie says that this is the meaning. Omnipotence means that God is all-powerful and able to do anything. So let me ask you a question first. Could God heal the leper? Could Jesus make the leper clean? Now, the man probably doesn't know that Jesus is God. That's a given. But we have the word spreading around and everyone talking about Jesus in that he is a man come from God. He is teaching about the kingdom of God, and he is doing the works of God, so that this man, forgetting about all the social distancing you had to do with leprosy, comes and falls before Jesus and says, you're able to do it. He doesn't say you're able to do it. He says, if you will, you can make me clean. He knew that Jesus was able to make him clean, so he forgot all the different things about the illness that he had to remember, and he sought out Jesus to make him clean. Because Jesus is more powerful than leprosy.
That's right.
Now, Jesus is more powerful than the coronavirus. Everybody is in fear. Immobilizing fear. Panicking fear. A phobia. Have they coined coronaphobia yet? Because that's what the whole world has, is coronaphobia. God is more powerful than the coronavirus. So do we act like God is more powerful than the coronavirus? Do our lives show that we believe that God is more powerful than the coronavirus? Or do we just succumb to the immobilizing fear that makes us unable to act reasonably? saying this, that we should not fear the coronavirus because God is stronger than the coronavirus. We should fear the coronavirus. We should fear the coronavirus the same way we fear electricity, the same way we fear fire, the same way we fear gravity. What happens if you stick a fork in the electrical socket? It's going to shock you. What happens if you stick your hand in fire? What happens if you jump off the house? You're going to fall down. You're not going to fly. So in the same way, we know God is more powerful than the coronavirus. And we worship and we fear God. However, we should not be unreasonable. And we should fear the coronavirus enough to take precautions. So God is more powerful than the coronavirus. Let's go back to our man who has leprosy. Let's read verse 12 again. It says, while Jesus was in one of the towns, a man came who was covered with leprosy. And when he saw Jesus, he fell with his face to the ground and begged him, Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean. And Jesus reached out his hand and touched the man. I am willing, he said, be clean. And immediately the leprosy left him. Now, did the man doubt that Jesus could heal the leprosy? What did he doubt? He doubted that Jesus was willing to heal the leprosy. Who was he? Jesus. What did he have to offer? He's just a leper. Who is this man? What does he have to offer God? Why would Jesus bother to heal him? He's a nobody. That nobody loves and nobody cares about and nobody wants to be around because of his disease. So, Jesus may not heal him. Why? Because he may be unwilling. The man comes and he says, Lord, if you are willing, you can make me clean. Jesus said, I am willing. Jesus touched the man. Jesus touched the man that nobody touched, gave him a feeling of sensation, didn't act like he was the outcast or the nobody or the throwaway of life. Touched the man, probably the first time the man had been touched since he had gotten the disease, and said, I'm willing, and was clean.